Hello, hi, welcome to LMG Daily. My name is Lady Means Goforth. That means life means go forth on the daily. All right, that being said, welcome. This is part two, continuation. Happy Black History Month to all of you. African American History Month, Indigenous Month. Happy. Okay, getting back on the reference at hand, we were talking about how they was trying to silence us, silence people, educators from educating people, the general public, as well as our culture to our children and other cultures, to know who we really are, where we came from. We're actually researching still and finding out new things as we go ourselves. So this is a learning process for everyone. We can all learn together. So getting back on when I was looking over some things from Brother Michael Imhotep. So AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, and that's on the AfricanHistoryNetwork.com out of Detroit. Now, he was speaking upon the debate that Senators Tim Scott and Senator Cory Booker were having. Now, Senator Tim Scott is out of South Carolina, and Senator Cory Booker is out of New Jersey. Honey, when I thought I was looking at the North and the South, the Civil War, a retake, Senator style, excuse me, I promise you it's not corona. Honey, that's me having to cough up on some stuff about Senator Scott. Now let me tell you. Now, they clash over Jim Crow comparisons, y'all, and voting rights. Let me tell you, when I tell you about the crab in the barrel syndrome, will it come to the light, honey? When I tell you something, will it come to the light? All right, now you have two brothers. One is a senator in the South. The other one is a senator in the North. How is the North fighting harder for the South than the man in the South? Y'all didn't hear me. How is the brother from the North fighting harder for the people in the South than the brother from the South? In the South seat. I ain't gonna say it a third time, but I feel like some of y'all still didn't hear me. So I'm moving forward, honey. Now, Senator Scott accused them of misrepresentation, personal experiences. I have to tell y'all something, and I'm going to share this with y'all. Know your history. And research something called post-traumatic slave syndrome. I'm going to say it again. Research post-traumatic slave syndrome. Yo, I had to wake up because I thought I had post-traumatic stress syndrome. I had to wake up. When you research that, make sure you have a clear, open mind to understand that it's an epidemic. It's an epidemic. Now, getting back upon Senator Tim Scott, Senator Cory Booker. Y'all, this is why we're still behind. Negroes like Scott. I'm just going to tell you like it is. Y'all, I see Senator Cory Scott. Cory Scott, y'all. Oh. I'm so distraught by this situation. Please forgive me, Senator Booker. Please forgive me, honey. Please forgive me. It hits home for me. This hits home for me. I'm going to tell you why. All right, we have Senator Cory Booker. Now, at one time, Senator Booker was campaigning. Oh, I wanted to associate myself so bad with everything that he wanted to do because I believed in him. I knew that he could bring positive change as well as Obama did. Like Obama, President Obama did, It may not be a whole, 360. It might only be a 90-degree angle. But he turned that acute into an obtuse. But they tried to make it seem that it was an acute angle. But people were in better places, in better spaces in their brains, in their minds, and it wasn't so divided. Now, Senator Cory Booker, I look at him as General Revolutionary Liberatory man. He's the liberator. Revolutionary liberator. Now, Senator Tim Scott, I look at him as a high-paid house slave. I'm going to tell you why. My personal experience, I'm going to tell you why. Now, Master's right-hand man is in office here. And I just want to ask you a question. How many of our leaders in the past have died by Master's right-hand man? I had to look at that. And during this time, when I was going through this, I was just beginning to understand and know, the different other types of, rappers that were coming out there. So I heard the name Nipsey Hussle. So I was like, okay, that was like he prolific. And I was like, okay, so he's like a prophet. And so I started listening to, some of his, words that he was saying. And I was like, okay, he's telling the story in every song. And so then it was like, he's Slauson, and he's doing this and he's doing that in Cali, he's doing this in the Valley. And so I was like, okay, okay, bro, okay. And then you hear Nipsey gone. I'm like, what? All this brother was doing, and how is it possible that you're building up the community and you accumulate more haters you had when you was doing bad than you're doing good? I'm like, how is that possible? And I've seen it repetitiously. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., house slave. Cut him down. Master's right-hand man. Malcolm, Master's right-hand man. And you're like, they make you want to be afraid to do good in your community, to do good for your people. They make you afraid to do that because it may end your life. And you like, do I want to stay where I am with this? Seriously, do you want to stay where you are when your life is not where it needs to be? No. So you move forward. But one thing I've noticed that my brothers didn't do, like Young Dolph, even Young Dolph, once you become a certain status in society, gain certain status in society, there's nowhere you can go alone. It's sad but true. And it's because of the wealth gap. It's because of the wealth gap that you can't go nowhere once you get a certain fame, certain bank account. You can't go nowhere by yourself. Give it up. Give it up. Especially when you have your family. Entourage. You might as well give it up. So, that being said, now in 2019, when I got ran off the road by a white supremacist, and I totaled my car, I totaled my vehicle, I got hurt up internally more than external. And I had started experiencing sleep paralysis really bad, to where I would wake up and I would still be unable to move. And then I found out that there were severe muscle spasms, and my depression medications were contributing to the factor. So honey, that being said, I had, went to speak with someone, and they said, well, you can always, go to the Attorney General's office about the situation. So I said, yes. I said, because I've tried to apply for disability, and it's been 4 times, and they've denied me. So she says, you need to possibly call the senator's office for some help, because, they'll probably be able to, get you in the right, direct you in the right places, the right lawyer to talk to, and things of that sort. And so this was in 2018, and I had my accident in 2017. I just couldn't take it anymore, and I had tried, and I tried again, and I tried again in 2019. So, that being said, excuse me, when I wrote them about the back taxes my ex-husband owed, and they were trying to take my check for his back taxes. And we wasn't even together. We were separated, living in two different counties and two different addresses. And so that being said, they here it is. I asked for advice on filing for disability after being denied 4 times. 2019, Senator Scott office concerning hate crime and reporter of the hate crime that I was almost killed in. I was told that his office couldn't help me with this matter. I reported that I contacted the Better Business Bureau, the FTC, and Attorney General Consumer Relations concerning the sale of lemon cars and the impact of predator loan corporations have on consumers in South Carolina. We can't help you. Now, they have a lemon cars law for brand new lemon cars, and they can't be more than 4 years old. But they do not have a law for used lemon cars, which I think is very absurd because you've taken inspections out, so why not have that? And I've just become, and they did it, honestly. They put me in this mindset because of, going back and forth to jail and losing houses and cars, all the time. And then you get out and start doing better for yourself. And you're able to put a down payment, on a car again. And then they sell you a lemon that you have to make payments on and repairs. So after a few times a day, you just like, look, you can have this shit. And I started taking cars to lots and dropping them off, or taking them to the bank that was financed and say, y'all deal with this. Or, just when they send me a letter or something like that, like, okay, it wasn't what I was paying for anyway, honestly. You may have a good engine, but you can't listen to what you want to listen to. Or you have to worry about your windshield flying off. Or something of the other, So, no. I just, it's so stressful to know that people constantly try to insult your intelligence and dumb down you and just swindle you and scam you, use you and abuse you and be evil to you, and you still trying to be the light. Focus on the positive. Faith over fear. It's tiresome, but you got to keep it pushing. Now, with that being said, and they told me we can't help you. So I'm looking at America as this big corporation that in any avenue, at any point, they are allowing people to scam and get you and take what you work hard for. I have heard so many people say, my money's spent even before I get it. I'm working paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. And I've actually dissected some systematic rules that are discriminatory to keep us there, to keep us in a certain class of people. You have to actually step out and find a way, that loophole, to get around that in order to rise up from it. So, that being said, if you feel like that you have a skill that you can retire off of, I would think about that skill. I will honestly think about that skill, because in the end, you don't want to be that worn out individual that's not going to be able to play with your grandkids, or you consume by so many illnesses from so much work, wear and tear on your body and stress, to where you've developed Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that. You don't want to go through that, because we all want to live life to the fullest. We all do. And to the best of our abilities. Now, when I requested for the tax advocate concerning the taxes, I also asked them, why are they continuing to, garnish my wages? Why do they garnish wages for hospital bills and things like that? How do they expect for people to stay consistent in paying their other bills and things that they have, or it doesn't matter? So, also, being given the runaround, that is so over. That is like the oldest trick in the book, honestly. I'm a person that can be like, no. And then when you try to tell me, and then I'm probably going to pick up the phone and call somebody totally different in order to get a better answer than what you just gave me. And it's absolutely crazy that you have to do that, but you have to do that. You can't take no for an answer. It's sad to say that, because in certain situations, no means no. When somebody's trying to come on to you, or you trying to come on to someone and you tell them no, that means no, cut this off. But when somebody is trying to tell you something you can't do, and you can, you have a right, and certain rights are supposed to be upheld. This is what we enlist for. This is what we pay our taxes for. This is what we work for. This is what we choose to be a citizen for. But there are loopholes to the citizenship. So, that being said, I just can't see where a lot of these politicians are helping more than hindering, and also just gouging money without results. I mean, seriously, do you see it? I'm just going to give you a moment to catch up. Do you see these things? Now, I'm going to make this really quick. I just want to also touch bases on people who are trying to get in contact with themselves, to know themselves and their backgrounds. There are ways that you can actually, other than Ancestry.com, AncestryDNA.com, 23andMe, Heritage.com, for you to trace your genealogy and ancestral roots. You can also, I got this information via Dane Calloway and his crew. And you can go to the National Archives, or you can visit NARA.gov or GLOrecords.blm.gov. Now, the GLOrecords.blm.gov is for land records. That is for land records. Now, it'll also allow you to be able to search the deed. The National Archives will also let you be able to search the deed to your family's land of potential inheritance. Also, the deed will let you know. And there were two words that you have to differentiate from. That's deed and patent. Now the patent is not gonna, it's just gonna tell you, the basis record of it, but the deed will tell you the ownership of it. So you have the patent. The patent will tell you, lot coordinates and, what have you about it and the history about it, possibly. But the deed is what you need. Just remember that. The deed is what you need. Moving along. Now, there is the National Archives in Columbia, South Carolina. That's open from Tuesdays to Fridays. The actual time zones, you're going to have to actually research that for yourself. But on the next segment, I will come back with those time zones. This was actually information I was jotting down real quick as I went. And also research the Middle Passage. When you are looking for, ancestral roots. Because it just intrigues you to know. Just like when I was researching the Trail of Tears and the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre, the 1619 Project, the Black Wall Street, massacre. Just research, you guys. Just research and find out things, because you will be amazed. You will actually be amazed at what has been hidden from us for so long, and we're now just breathing. What? The air. We're not totally there, but we're getting a little whiff of it. Also, Afro, Euro, Asian, Anic regions. I did not realize this until it was brought to my attention when I was watching Dane Calloway. The reason I go into this cultural education is because this is part of what I do. This is part of what I want to spread. The news, the epiphanies, I knew this deep down inside. It's coming out face forward, instead of you walking down with your chin like this, thinking that you're an inferior being. You know that to hold your head up and realize that you are not inferior. You're not inferior. Okay, now, if you can collect your family members' last names, your mother, father's, and mother's last names, and your dad, mother, and father's last names, you are on a wonderful road to finding your true background and your ancestral history. That being said, investigate, learn your heritage, pass your culture down from one to the other, and establish generational wealth, so your children won't, have to worry about the pressures of life so much. Only sustaining, and maintaining, not, the extras that come with all of that. Now I can say, if you can get out of Charlotte's Web, do so as quick as you can, because once you in that web, honey, Charlotte tangles a mighty web, honey. She weaves one. By me saying that, you have the rat race, to where you're constantly doing the same thing every day long, the same job every day long, and you're pacing in the same, it's like you're walking in the same place. and not really moving forward. Now that's Charlotte's Web, honey. She lets you walk in place and then take off to move, and then she said, I got you, and wrap you up in that web. Now, when I say Charlotte's Web, I refer to criminal justice systems. That's the Charlotte's Web, y'all. It happens. Repossessions, predatory loans, those are the Charlotte's Web, because they keep weaving things upon you to keep you like here, instead of being able to spread out and go different places and do different things, like your credit rising, being able to get houses, cars, land, credit cards, things of that sort. Go on vacations, buy that Apple iPhone you want. It's systematic racism. That's one of the reasons why I came up and wrote that, because it's true, and it is what it is. It's systematic racism. It's a division plan to intentionally separate us, to confuse us about who we are, where we came from, and to what tribe we belong to. It's a problem. We have to solve it. And by doing research, critical thinking, census interviews, genealogy tracks, we can be able to do this. But once we get this information, we have to spread that information to our children, so our children can tell our children, and our children can tell our children, so they know who they are. They know I belong and who I belong to, where I originated from. I can't let this book and this teacher tell me something that is really this, because you have that systematic racism. That's part of the systematic racism that I speak of. It's also in our school systems. This is why they're trying to take the books out about racism, because they don't want the children to learn the truth, to be able to grow from it. Yes, it was a very ugly past. Very ugly past. That being said, we have to grow from that. And how you grow from it, you got to pull the scab off the wound, nurse that like it's supposed to be so it can heal correctly. And that's what we have to do with the situation. We have to look at it and deal with it for what it is. Ain't no more hiding, people. Stop it. Stop trying to hide. Stop trying to cover up so much. You've been doing it for centuries. Quit it. Jeez. You guys are tiresome with this stuff, for real. I'm telling you, I've been trying to stay sane about so much. Even the situation with my mother. It's discrimination and racism. It really is. That is involved in what happened to her. Is so, and I have to constantly, because I've created a page at least once a month, I try to come and do something because of my situation, my personal situation. And it's just really taking a toll on me, because people are not even accepting who you love. People not even accepting who you are as a person. Your ancestral history, your birthright. They're trying to keep that from you. And I'm like, what? Who are you to do that? You evil. And you just bleep, 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 bleep. If I had one of those buttons, it'll be real then. But you guys, this has been LMG Daily. I'm Lady Meets Goforth, and this is the real. Every time I come to you, I'm going to give you the real, and I'm going to pass information that I've learned myself to you, for you to learn, for you to pass it on to someone else. Each one teach one. Do that. Be about it. Don't just speak on it. Do it. So that being said, you guys, Thank you for tuning in. LMG Daily, Life Meets Goforth on the Daily. Lady Meets Goforth signing out.